My name is Councillor Mercy Ume. I'll be chairing tonight's meeting. The meeting is being broadcast live on Council's YouTube channel. If I lose connection and cannot reconnect, Councillor Harcourt will take over for me. I would like to remind all participants of a few housekeeping points. Please keep your microphone muted unless you are speaking. Please keep your camera turned on when you speak at the hearing. Please note that the chat function has been disabled. If parties wish to add additional information other than the allocated time to speak, they must use raise hand function so that they are not missed. I also ask that members keep their questions and comments brief to the point. I now move to agenda item. Item 1, apologies for absence, none was received. Item 2, declaration of interest. No members have had any declaration of interest. Item 3, Wood Grill, 123 Oxbridge Road, London, W12 8LJ. I would like to ask everyone participating to introduce yourself as I call on you. We should have with us Leonard. I might call you on your first name, please. Leonard and Thomas, immigration officer, the applicants. Are they here?
Yes, good afternoon. This is Leonard. I'm one of the immigration officers.
Okay. We have Lorna, licensing officer.
Present, Chair.
Thank you. We have Karan, licensing officer as well.
Present, Chair.
We have Emmanuel, the council legal officer.
Present, Chair.
Thank you. We have licensees. We have Jenzin, premier license holder, accompanied by Mr. Honda, son and interpreter. Are they here? I can't see them.
Chair,
Okay.
Chair, it's Craig Bayliss. I'm the solicitor for the premises license holder. They're not here because
Okay.
he can't join. He's got no connection from Turkey.
Okay, thank you. We have Craig, the advocate for premier holder, premises holder. We have Marcus, the solicitor.
Yes.
We have Marcus. We have Miss Morrow.
Hello, hi there, madam. It's Marcus Lavelle here, just confirming.
Okay, we have Meryl, group operational manager. She's here, can see her. We have Mr. Ali Ruiz, premises general. Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
We have Michael Watson, group compliance consultant. We have Mr. Ali, again, former premier general manager, who is accompanied by his wife, Grumit. Are they here? No.
Chair, again, they're not here. We haven't asked them to attend this evening.
Okay. Supporting the review, we have Christina Perez, the license compliance officer.
Present, Chair, thank you.
Yeah, we have Dan Evans, the police constable. We have Chris, the police constable, licensing officers. Are they here?
It's just myself, Dan Evans, tonight. Sorry, Chris couldn't make it.
Okay. We have Catherine, the local resident. Is she here?
No, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Then the procedure. Before we consider the application today, may I confirm that in addition to the main agenda, a supplementary agenda was published on 1st of August, 2023, containing the premises license holder supporting bundle. I hope everyone got that. It was circulated to everyone today. So I will quickly explain the procedure committee will follow. We will hear from the following. The licensing officer will introduce the application. The applicant, Leonard Johnson and Thomas Cook, will present grounds for the review. possibly authorities supporting the review, Christina Perez, and then Dan Evans, followed by Catherine, supporting the review, the local resident. Finally, the premises license holder representative. Usually, each party will address the committee for a maximum of 5 minutes. Following the presentation by all parties, the committee may ask questions to any other party other than the person at the hearing, except committee members. No party has the right to question of any other party at any time during the hearing. Following the presentation and questioning, each party will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to sum up their cases or representation. The committee will then retire for deliberation. Upon its return, I will announce the committee's decision. Please keep your remarks as concise as possible. Presenting officer, can I ask the licensing officer, Lorna, to introduce the application?
Yes, Chair.
Yes.
On the 20th of June 2023, an application for a review of a premises licence under Section 51 of the Licensing Act 2003 was served by Mr. Leonard Johnson on behalf of the Central London Immigration Compliance and Enforcement ICE team. The review application is in respect of the premises known as the Woody Grill, 1 to 3 Uxbridge Road, London, W12 8LJ. At the time the application was received, Mr. Sengzi's Erpolot was the licence holder. The application for a review of the premises licence was made on the grounds of prevention of crime and disorder and public safety, following 3 visits conducted by the Central London ICE team. On each occasion, employees were found to be working illegally without the right to work in the United Kingdom. During the 3rd visit, conducted with the licensing officers present at the premises, there were identified breaches of immigration offences and a breach of licensing conditions, and a copy of the review applications and all details can be seen detailed in the report. Due to the serious and repetitive nature of these incidents, Mr. Johnson requests that the licensing subcommittee considers revoking the licence. There has been a premises licence in place at the premises since the 15th of January 2010, and the licence was applied for by Mr. Sengzi's Erpolot in December 2009, and he has remained the licence holder since. The premises currently operates under the licence, which permits the following licensable activities: late night refreshment, both indoors and outdoors, from Monday to Sunday from 2300 hours till 5 AM. And the hours that the premises is open to the public is Monday to Sunday, 10 AM till 5 AM. During the statutory consultation period, the licensing section received 11 comments of support of the review application. These comments were made up of 1 comment from the licensing authority, 1 from the police licensing team, and 9 from local residents, all in the support of the review of the premises license in question. There has been 1 item of supplementary agenda which was received from the licence holder, which was circulated to all parties on the 1st of August 2023. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Lorna. Then can I have the applicant, Leonard Johnson and Thomas Cook, the immigration officers? They have 5 minutes. So I don't know how you want to do it. Is one person going to represent for the 5 minutes, or what do you want to do?
Good evening. Yeah, I'm Leonard. I'm happy to go through the application. So yeah, just to introduce myself. My name's Leonard Johnson. I'm an immigration
Leonard,
officer.
please, can we see your face? It'd be nice for us to see your face. Is it possible?
I'm not sure why it's not working. Can you see it now?
No.
Maybe if I... Maybe if I was to leave and rejoin?
Okay.
Okay, I can try.
Okay, please, thanks.
Chair, could I ask a quick question or a point?
Okay.
The resident who's Catherine Tomaselli hasn't arrived. If she arrives partway through this hearing, is she allowed to participate or not?
Well,
I just want to clarify that.
can we have our legal officer? Can she still participate?
If she's made a representation and she's registered, then she can participate. Yes.
Okay. If he's if Leonard if he's not working, we can just oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that's sorry.
That's somebody else.
But
Yeah.
if you want to give him a second, if he
Oh,
can't,
okay,
then
he's
I'll
there now.
present it.
He's gone.
Okay.
Can you see me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay, great. Okay, great. So yeah, my name's Leonard Johnson. I'm an immigration officer and I'm currently based on the Central London Immigration Compliance and Enforcement team. That's based at Windsor House, Westminster. As part of my role, as a team, we go out to business premises following intelligence received regarding illegal working, and we investigate whether businesses are complying with checking the right to work of their employees. So this premises, they hold a late night food license between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. Monday to Sunday as part of their license conditions. They're required to conduct right to work checks on all of their employees before they start work. Following 3 enforcement visits, which we have conducted at this premises between March 2022 and May 2023, each time we've made arrests of illegal workers, and the premises is consistently failing to comply with the right to work checks. So just to give you a timeline, so the first visit we conducted was on the 17th of March 2022. The team of immigration officers from Central London ICE conducted an enforcement visit to Woody Grill, that's at 1 to 3 Uxbridge Road. Following intelligence received that the premises was employing illegal workers with no right to work. Entry to the premises was gained by informed consent, which was granted to the officer in charge by the operational manager at 14:29 hours. Upon entry, 7 staff were encountered in total. 4 members of staff were found to be working illegally and arrests were made. The illegal workers consisted of 1 Albanian female, who is an illegal entrant in the United Kingdom, 1 Afghanistan male, who is an illegal entrant in the United Kingdom, 1 Iranian male, who is an illegal entrant in the United Kingdom, and 1 Turkish male who was on a visit visa, which does not have any permission to work whilst being on a visit visa. The workers were all questioned and escorted from the premises, and the premises was served with an illegal working referral notice regarding a civil penalty for employing the 4 workers with no right to work in the UK. The premises subsequently received a £30,000 fine from the Home Office in order to try and drive compliance. Following this, on the 29th of June 2022, a minor variation to add CCTV and right to work check conditions to the premises licence was granted following the licensing authority's request. Following on from this, on the 2nd of February 2023, we received further intelligence of illegal working at the premises and we conducted a second visit. So once we arrived, our intended power of entry was going to be by informed consent again. Upon arrival, we witnessed 7 to 8 staff members working in the premises, and we attempted to get informed consent from the person in charge. That person is now known to be Ali Haider Gumus. Gumus was very evasive and was using delaying tactics when we were trying to get permission from him to enter the premises. He was claiming that the manager was in hospital, he couldn't get through to anybody, he couldn't contact anybody. And whilst he was delaying giving consent to us, 2 males from behind the counter appeared visibly nervous, they were shaken. And whilst this was all happening, 4 members of staff, 1 female and 3 males, they were observed slowly stopping what they were doing in the restaurant, and slowly they walked behind the counter and into the kitchen area and out of sight, and they didn't reappear. 1 male then working behind the counter, we recognised him as one of the males who had already been arrested on the first visit in March 2022, and he was still working there with no right to work. Then another male went into the kitchen area, put on his coat and attempted to leave as if he was a customer. He was stopped. We then gained entry at 12:57 hours under section 28C8 of the Immigration Act 1971. This followed a referral to the on-call Assistant Director for Immigration based on the adverse reactions seen by the staff. And he granted us permission under section 28CA of the Immigration Act 1971 to enter. Upon entry, we got inside, tried to gather all the staff together, and it was noticed that the 4 members of staff had actually fled the premises through an escape route, which was they stacked up some equipment and escaped through a window in the ceiling at the back of the kitchen, and they were no longer on the premises. There were 4 remaining staff members on the premises, and 2 of them were found to be working illegally in the United Kingdom. The first one was an Afghanistan male, which was the same male who'd already been arrested on the previous visit. They knew that he could not work there, and he was working there again. And the second person was an Iranian male who is a failed asylum seeker and an absconder from the Home Office, and he was found to be working illegally. Again, both illegal workers were escorted off the scene, and the premises was served with another illegal working referral notice for a civil penalty and given advice on right to work checks. Then on the 19th of May 2023, we conducted a revisit. This time we went with the licensing officers from Hammersmith and Fulham licensing from the council, and we conducted this visit on a night shift during licensing hours. Entry was gained at 11:34 p.m. with the execution of a warrant which we obtained from Westminster Magistrates Court on the 28th of February 2023 under Schedule 2, paragraph 17(2) of the Immigration Act 1971. This time there were 7 staff members encountered on the premises, and again we found 2 more illegal workers. This time there was 1 Iranian male and 1 Pakistan male, and both were found to be illegal entrants in the United Kingdom, no permission to work, and they were working in breach of their bail conditions. Both of these males were escorted off of the premises, told not to return to work as they have no permission to work in the United Kingdom, and the premises were served with another illegal working referral notice for a civil penalty. The licensing officers were also in attendance with us. Obviously, they will speak about their part. I know they noticed a breach of the CCTV and the right to work check conditions. So yeah, that's the reasons why we have referred this for a license review. The business appears to be operating with a complete disregard for the law and licensing objectives. We've conducted 3 visits. Each time we found illegal workers. We've attempted to issue a fine in order to try and drive compliance with the immigration checks. However, they continue to reoffend. And as such, given the serious and repetitive nature of these incidents, we would respectfully ask that the license is revoked in line with the licensing objectives of prevention.
I have to stop you because your time is up.
No
Okay.
problem. I've finished anyway.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can we have the responsible authority, that is Christian, to speak?
Thank you.
Licensing authority. 5 minutes you have, huh?
No worries, thank you. So the licensing authority has made a representation in support of this review application in response to adverse enforcement history at this premises as outlined in the committee report. In summary, an immigration visit was undertaken on the 17th of March last year with licensing enforcement officers present. The reason for our attendance was in the event immigration officers required any additional assistance or if there were any queries relating to the license itself. At the time of the inspection, the premises license was not active. However, 4 individuals were found to be illegally working at the premises. As part of a stepped approach to address immigration concerns, the licensing authority held a virtual meeting with a police licensing officer, the licensee, Mr. Erpolat, General Manager, Mr. Gumuz, and Operations Manager, Ms. Sentin, in attendance. The aim of the meeting was to establish what measures, if any, the operators had in place to prevent illegal working and whether or not we thought they were sufficient, in which case offer advice on steps that would need to be taken moving forward to prevent further immigration offences. During the meeting, we raised officers' findings and the seriousness of immigration offences. We explained that as a licensed venue, they are responsible for ensuring adequate measures are implemented to uphold the full licensing objectives, and that the prevention of crime includes the prevention of immigration crime, such as illegal working in licensed venues. We also clearly explained that no person, paid or unpaid, can work unless they have and are able to demonstrate the right to work in the UK. We outlined measures that must be implemented immediately in terms of carrying out right to work checks and audits, and how records should be kept. We advised that on gov.uk there is information and guidance for employers with respect to checking a job applicant's right to work, and I subsequently circulated relevant links to Ms. Sentin in particular following this meeting. Due to the nature of the offence, we highlighted that although the subjects were identified outside licensable hours on that occasion, there were concerns that illegal workers would have been present until the early hours of the morning. Therefore, a review application may be considered. However, their operators expressed that they had learnt their lesson, and moving forward will undertake the relevant checks prior to training or employing staff, assuring us that such offences will not reoccur. We took this statement and immigration's referral for a civil penalty into consideration and determined that we would reinforce right to work checks by requesting a minor variation to add immigration and CCTV conditions onto the premises licence. The application was submitted on, the minor variation application was submitted on the 14th of June last year, and the conditions added can be viewed on pages 35 and 36 of the committee report. The licensing authority were then made aware that a second visit was conducted by the immigration enforcement team on the 2nd of February this year, again outside licensable hours. We were informed that Mr. Gumus deliberately stalled and was reluctant to give informed consent for officers to conduct their inspection, which ultimately led to 4 staff members escaping through a ceiling window at the back of the venue. So due to adverse reactions observed as outlined in the review applications, officers obtained authority to enter the premises through alternative powers. 2 members of staff were found to be illegally working on the premises, and the business was served with another illegal working referral notice for a civil penalty. Immigration officers obtained a warrant on the 28th of February and visited the premises on the 19th of May at 11:34 p.m. with licensing officers in attendance. During this visit, 2 individuals were found to be illegally working on the premises, and another illegal working referral notice for a civil penalty was issued. A licensing inspection was also carried out, and conditions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7, as outlined on pages 6 and 7 of the committee report, were identified as being breached. In conclusion, given the seriousness of offences which have occurred at this premises between March 2022 and May 2023, the licensing authority supports the review application's request to revoke the premises licence. Should the committee decide not to revoke the licence, we respectfully ask that they would consider either suspension or a significant reduction in licensable hours. We have previously attempted to work and support the business by providing the operators guidance and advice with respect to immigration and licensing legislation. We also believe they have been given ample time and opportunities to implement appropriate measures to prevent further offences. We have serious concerns that allowing this premises to trade into the early hours of the morning may lead to a continued non-compliance and possible exploitation of individuals.
I have to stop you, Christina.
Christina.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's fine, no worries.
Yeah, thank you. We have the police, Dan Evans. We have 5 minutes for you to do your own presentation.
Yeah, sure. Good evening. It's going to be quite short and sweet, but the police support the representation to revoke this licence. It's believed the premises is and will continue to operate in such a way that undermines the licensing objectives. Having reviewed the evidence available and the history of non-compliance with the premises, the police have real concerns, as it's clear that the operator has total disregard for the law. Clearly, the authorities have engaged with the premises, identifying issues of concern, and have tried to work with the premises to address these. As stated, there's been a minor variation put in place in June 2022. So the premises is and should be fully aware of how to operate by law. However, it is apparent that they continue to breach these same conditions. The police have zero confidence in the operation of the premises and are of the opinion that the premises will continue to breach these licensing conditions and undermine the licensing objectives, should they be able to continue. It's therefore the police request that the licensing subcommittee revoke the current premises license.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much. Now, we have Catherine. I don't think she's here. The local resident.
He's not, Chair.
She's not. Okay. In that case, then we have the license holder's representative. Is it Mr. Craig Bliss? You're going to be speaking?
Chair, that's me. Yes, I am going to be speaking.
Okay, I'm going to allow you 20 minutes. Okay.
Oh, Chair, it's more than I need. The first thing I think I really need to say is that the premises license holder wants to offer sincere apologies for what's happened. There is no excuse. There is no mitigation for the 3 offences in terms of the immigration issues which have occurred. There is simply no excuse. It should never have happened, and we offer our sincere and heartfelt apologies. Chair, the circumstances are all set out in the statement that you've seen, and I know that you and your colleagues will have read the bundle that was received yesterday. So they're all set out very helpfully in the statement from Meral Chetin, who's the group operations manager. So I'm not going to refer to any of the facts in there. You've read them. If you've got questions for us about what's contained in that statement, I'm happy to take your questions. But there's a number of issues that I just want to address briefly before I open up for questions if you need to. The first point to make is that in terms of penalties, Leonard, the immigration officer, referred to the fact that there's been a £30,000 Home Office penalty for the first offence. There's also been a £40,000 penalty for the second offence. So in total, as at the moment, £70,000 worth of penalties have been imposed in respect of the first 2 immigration offences, and we're waiting to hear whether further penalties are imposed in relation to the third offence. So there's been significant financial hardship for the premises in relation to the penalties which have been imposed already. The second point I want to make is that these premises are only one of a group of 7 restaurants. All the other 6 restaurants in the group have perfect a perfect background, perfect legal background, no issues of this type whatsoever. We've had one rogue manager who's carried out these breaches of the immigration law, and our problem was that we gave him too many chances to try and get it right, and he let us down. He's now been moved. I think probably the reason why we gave him too many chances is he was the nephew of one of the owners of the business, and we just gave him too much rope, I'm afraid. But he's gone. He's been moved, and things have now been put right. Revocation of the license won't close them. The premises will still exist. It just means they'll have to close at 11 o'clock. And Christina, on behalf of the licensing authority, has made a suggestion that if you decide not to revoke, you could reduce the hours during which the premises actually operate. I'm going to offer you a voluntary reduction in those hours already, and we're very happy to offer a reduction Sunday to Wednesday, the terminal hour to be 2 a.m. instead of 5, so losing 12 hours a week from Sunday to Wednesday, and Thursday to Saturday, a reduction in the terminal hour to 3 a.m. So a total reduction of 18 hours of trading per week if you were minded to go down that road and you were satisfied that we've now put matters right and that these matters are not likely to happen again. The most telling matter that I think you ought to take account of is Michael Watson's statement. I hope you and your colleagues have seen the statement from Mr. Watson, but he's been employed as an external compliance expert to implement a new system of checking on right to work in relation to the premises. That's also cost them about £6,000 to £8,000 in terms of operating this system. And what it means effectively is that everyone who works at the premises has got to have their right to work vetted and checked, and there will be, going forward, an independent system of auditing that right to work system. Now, I'm going to ask Mr. Watson to talk to you briefly for a couple of minutes just to outline how the system works in a minute. But what I would also suggest is that if you are minded to allow the license to continue on the basis of the reduced hours that I've suggested, you might want to also add an extra condition that the right to work system that's been implemented by Mr. Watson should be regularly audited on an unannounced basis by him or a member of his staff. So, Mr. Watson, can I ask you to sign in, unmute, and put your camera on, and just briefly describe how the system that you've implemented works? I think you had to develop a completely bespoke system for this restaurant to make sure that they can't fall foul of right to work again. But tell us just very briefly in a couple of minutes how the system works and how you would audit it in particular, because I've already offered the committee a condition that there would be regular unannounced audits of the system. So over to you.
Thank you. Good evening, Chair. Yes, so what we've done, we had an existing compliance system which is used widely across London for compliance checks for licensed premises, and we've built a bespoke element of it that will fulfill all the requirements of the existing right to work license conditions. So all of that information is entered onto the system. It's held securely. The right to work proof of documents can also be uploaded securely. The system allows different levels of access. So head office can log in and see exactly what records are held at the premises. The system has the ability that it will send out alerts. So if someone's right to work is about to end, an automatic alert will be sent to head office, so they can control the information they hold on all the staff. They can see exactly who has a right to work and what the circumstances are. So if, for example, there's a limit on hours, that's all recorded as well. And then as Craig says, to supplement that, so another level of assurance for you is unannounced visits. So in a similar way that the immigration service would go and visit the premises, that I or one of my colleagues would go, we have access obviously to all the records on our system, and we can check that against all the people working at the premises. And obviously those unannounced visits would occur when the premises is trading under its license.
And just to be clear, those unannounced visits could be as often as once a week, once a month, once every 6 months, just as often as you thought it was appropriate. But the crucial point being they would always be unannounced. So whoever was the manager would never know when you were going to turn up and check that the right to work is actually being complied with.
Unannounced and obviously also documented. So we would provide a report on that visit. So the date and time, who was working, and what the results of our checks were.
Thank you. Chair, that's all I want to say at the moment. I know you and your colleagues will have questions for us. I want to emphasise again how sorry the premises licence holder is that this has happened. We should never have given this manager as many chances as we did. I want to emphasise again the fact that there are 6 other premises within the group which have a completely unblemished record, no difficulty at all in terms of right to work or immigration issues for the other 6 premises. This was a rogue manager and a rogue set of circumstances which have led to this unfortunate hearing. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Greg. That's great. Can I ask each committee members to ask questions of any party about the application and issues that have been raised at the hearing? Can I ask the members to do that? Okay, Councillor.
So, Councillor Harcourt, I'm sure you have many questions. I only have 2 very brief ones. Would you mind if I just ask them first?
Absolutely, I've no issue with that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. That's all been very, very helpful. I have one quick question, which is to both licensing and immigration, which is just really by way of confirmation that no further spot checks have taken place since the last one in May 23. And of course, if they have, what the result of them was.
From myself, no, they haven't. The last inspection was in May 2023.
Thank you.
From immigration as well, that was the last inspection by us, was with the licensing.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I have then two questions for Mr. Watson, if I may. Can I just ask if you can tell me when you were instructed first in this matter?
I'd need to check my records. It was a few weeks ago.
So it's, if we say mid-July, after the review was commenced, so mid-July, shall we say? That's
the review had been submitted. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Thank you. And then my second question is the proposed reporting schedule that you may or may not be undertaking. To whom would you be reporting the results of your findings?
I would be reporting. Well, my point of contact has been Merrill, who is here, I believe, at the meeting. Who's the group operations manager.
Thank you. I mean, I guess my real question is, well, what's my question? A report's only useful if it goes to the right people.
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't want to speak out of turn, but I've been involved in similar hearings, not necessarily for immigration matters, but review hearings where a condition has been offered in terms of unannounced compliance checks by a qualified person, and a copy of the report that's produced goes to the authorities. So not just to the licensee, but also to, I don't know, maybe Hammersmith and Fulham Council licensing. So there's that, again, that extra level of assurance.
Thank you. You were a step ahead of me there.
Or even if it's just, you know, that they're available, you know, upon a request.
Yeah. Thank you. No, that's great. I think, Chair, that's probably all I have for now. Although I may have some more questions after Councillor Harcourt and yourself have asked any questions.
Chair, I don't know if this is going to help Councillor Stanton just in relation to the questions he's asked Mr. Watson, but I've offered you a condition in relation to the audit system that Mr. Watson's developed. I'd also add to that, if you wanted to impose that condition, that all of those audit records also ought to be made available to an authorised officer at any time should they wish to see them, for obvious reasons.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Harcourt, do you have any question?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Just one or two. Some of the questions I had intended asking, the answers have come up during the various presentations. The first one is to Christina Perez, which is about enforcement and breaches of the licensing condition. Apart from those three immigration issues, the CCTV and which we've read about, the monitor not working, and the not keeping the immigration records, have there been any other breaches?
No, the only breaches established with respect to licensing were in the visit in May this year.
Right. So there's a note in from about hygiene in both the owner's statement and also from some of the members of the public. Is that it? Would that come to you, or would that come to somebody else?
It wouldn't. It's not something that licensing deal with. No, it would be the food safety team, the health and safety officers that deal with that.
Okay, thanks. That's all I had for you. A couple of questions. I'd hope, Mr. Bayliss, that you're able to answer some of these, because unfortunately your owner isn't present.
I'll certainly try, but if I can't, Councillor Harcourt, Merrill, who prepared the statement, which you will have read, is also here to deal with any factual issues.
Yeah, and this relates to the issues around nuisance and such like. And in the statement, it talks about 3 incidents where there's been a window smashed, plates and other crockery and stuff inside the restaurant being smashed, and on another occasion a customer being attacked with a knife. Any reason why, or do you have any understanding as to why these had? Because you've said in all three cases they were nothing to do or were not customers of the Woody Grill.
No, I mean, I've seen what Meryl said in relation to those issues. I mean, the points I'd make about that is two of them are significantly old, both from 2015. And so in terms of repetition of incidents, these aren't premises that have regular problems. Two of them were from 2015, and I think only one was a recent one from July 2023. There are, as you'll be aware, Councillor Harcourt, a lot of other licensed premises nearby that sell alcohol. We don't sell any alcohol. It's just a late night refreshment license. So because we are open late selling food, I suspect we are to a certain extent a bit of a magnet for trouble which comes from people who've left licensed premises.
Okay. What were those incidents were investigated by the police, I presume?
I understand so, yes. I don't know if Dan can help us on that, but they were certainly.
Do we know the outcome of what that was, or what the reasons were? Was it just drunken behaviour, or what? Is there anybody who can help?
I don't know. I don't know whether Dan's looked at any of the crime reports.
Sorry, Councillor, without looking at those reports, I couldn't give you the answer to that.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Next thing is, Mr. Bayliss, you very kindly offered a reduction in the premises opening times. What is the impact on that? What's the sort of numbers or in proportion of your daily business that operates, should we say, in those final hours? And is there and also, because you mentioned there's been £70,000 worth of fines.
That's right.
Reducing hours is going to impose a financial penalty as well.
It will, yeah, and we don't know yet whether the Home Office is going to impose another penalty for the third immigration offence. I mean, that could be another £30,000 or £40,000. I suspect it's highly likely that they will. I don't know if Leonard can tell us from his experience whether it's likely that we're going to get another civil penalty. But we've had 70,000 so far. Legal fees, the new compliance system, probably another £20,000 on top. There's been significant financial downside to this for the premises. I don't know. I'm going to ask Meryl if she can put her microphone on and her camera on and give us a rough idea of the reduction in hours that we're offering, how much loss of trade that's likely to be. Meryl, can you help us?
You're on mute.
You have to unmute yourself.
Yes, can you hear me? First of all, I want to say thank you, and I want to say apologize because what's happening, it was we haven't got an excuse, yeah, and if we reduce our hours, I can say that weekly we lose nearly more than minimum 20,000 £20,000 a weekly, yeah. So
on the basis of the offer that we're making to the committee tonight, you think that it's £20,000 hole in the pocket? Yes. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah. That's per week, Councillor, yes. Yeah, per week, yeah.
Okay, thanks. There's mention in there, and this might be back to the licensing team. There's mention of outdoors. When I saw the plans, I couldn't see where you meant outdoors. Do you mean on the public footway? As part of the licensed premises.
Sorry, Councillor, referring to the licensable activity?
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
I said, are you referring to the indoors and outdoors of the licensable activity?
Yes, that's right, yes.
The outdoors doesn't mean outside, it just means that the sale of food to take off the premises.
So it's off sales?
Yeah, off sales of food.
Okay, understand. Sorry, I didn't understand. I thought it meant there was actually an outside area. when you mentioned, and this may be to Mr. Watson, I think, about the checks and the audits and such like, and this bespoke system that you've put in place, is it going to be a simple matter of checking that somebody says they have checked somebody's right to work, or will there be copies of the various documentation that's required, passports, etc., you know, this, list A and list B and such like?
Yes, that's exactly what it means. It means that all the relevant documents can be uploaded securely and retained there. So that's a benefit, because it means the head office can have access to those immediately. So if they're dealt with by the manager on site, head office has access to all of those documents. It also means that they can easily be produced if there was an enforcement visit.
Okay, right. I think, Chair, that's as much as I need to ask. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, councillors. Thank you, everyone. I don't have much question, but I can only ask one, which is, in terms of employment, do you have anybody that lives in Shepherd's Bush or locally that works in that premises?
Meryl, do you know if there are any local people who work in the premises?
Just a second. Yes, we have 4 people. They are living there locally. One is the Liana, Mrs. Hatija. Do you want to give them the names?
No, don't
no,
give
just
no, don't give names. It's just to know that we have a local residents equally working, or people that live in Hammersmith that work with you as well. The other question is, I mean, in your report, you talked about the waste. So I'm glad you have resolved it. So in the first place, people did complain about some waste being left outside. But in your report, you said you have been able to sort it out. So could you tell me more how you have sorted it out with the council and from your previous waste company that's never turned up?
May I answer the question?
Yes, please.
Okay. Firstly, it was like 6-7 years ago. I was working with Islington Council 4 or 5 years, and I never had any problem. Then they stopped working with the outside the borough, so I had to find it very quick another company. Then I working with BIFA, cheaper waste. But what happened? Couple of times they missed in the collections. Because we have the hours putting the waste bin the outside, and they have to collect it. And then I chased them. The one time I happened the penalty charge. Yeah. So I chased them again. I sent them all the notice. But end of the day, I see them I can't sort out the problem with this company. Then I start to work with the Hammersmith. But the thing is, when I'm working with the Hammersmith, same time I work with them too, because I don't want to any problem. When I started working with Hammersmith, I had them the second penalty because they asked me to send them my old contract and the Hammersmith contract, but I was working with them already. So it was the second penalty, but I think it was the misunderstanding and they canceled the penalty charge. But I haven't got, since I'm working with the Hammersmith, I haven't got any problems, no issues. I'm satisfied. I hope they are satisfied too.
Thank you. Well, if you are satisfied and our residents are satisfied, we are satisfied. Okay. Any more questions from the committee members? No. Well, I don't have any more. Thank you all. So we're going to sum up. Please, can I have the parties to sum up 3 minutes? The licensing officer, I have 3 minutes to sum up.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to again express that the Licensing Authority supports the review application's request to revoke the premises licence given the history of non-compliance. We believe that they have been given ample time and opportunities prior to the most recent visit in May this year to implement appropriate measures to prevent further offences. We have previously attempted to work and support the business by providing the operators guidance and advice with respect to immigration and licensing legislation. Assurances were given to us last year following the first offence, but the business has subsequently failed to demonstrate that they are currently in a position to operate a licensed venue responsibly or adhere to legal requirements. We have serious concerns that allowing the premises to trade into the early hours of the morning may lead to continued non-compliance and possible exploitation of individuals. Although they have been made aware of consequences should offences continue to be identified, they have demonstrated a disregard for the law and by persistently allowing individuals without the right to work to be employed and breaching conditions, therefore undermining the licence objectives. The licensing authority therefore have no confidence in the licensee or the overall management involved with the operation of the business. Thank you.
I have the applicants to speak. That is the Home Office.
Yes, just to sum up, in total now we've had 3 enforcement visits to the address, 8 staff members found working illegally, 4 on the first visit, 2 on the second visit, and 2 on the final visit. We have been issued a warrant from Westminster Magistrates Court to go back and investigate, just basically repeat non-compliance from the employer. One male obviously has been working there 2 times and they know that he can't work there. It is correct that they have been issued fines in relation to this. They have been issued a £30,000 fine for the first offence. For the second visit, they was issued a £40,000 fine, and the final visit remains to be seen. We have conducted checks, and the £40,000 fine is yet to be paid, so there's no payment being made on that fine yet. We have made checks with the civil penalties team with the Home Office today, and the reason for referring for the licensing review is the continued non-compliance of the premises in regard to its licensing conditions. We've tried to offer them advice on employing illegal workers. We've tried to drive compliance through the issue of civil penalties, and we've also visited with the licensing team in order to try and get compliance that way. However, still continued non-compliance. So as such, given the serious and repetitive nature of these incidents, we respectfully ask that the licence is revoked in line with the licensing objectives of prevention of crime and disorder and public safety.
Thank you very much. And can we have Dan Evans, please? 3 minutes.
Yeah, sure. The police continue to support the representation to revoke the licence. It's very clear that this premises cannot keep to the standards set and keeps breaching the conditions that have been imposed, even after numerous attempts for the authorities to work with them. The police have zero confidence in the operation of the premises and of the opinion it will continue to breach the licence if it were to continue. And therefore we request that the licence is revoked.
Thank you very much, Officer. Now, can we have the license holder's representative? You have 12 minutes, Mr. Craig.
Thanks very much, Chair. I won't need that. This license has been in place since 2006, but the breaches have only taken place in the last 12 months. So there's been a history of good compliance with the premises in terms of immigration matters for a considerable period of time. The breaches have occurred with one rogue manager. He's gone, he's been sorted out. We should never have allowed him to have extra chances to try and mend his ways, and that's our fault and our problem, and we are sorry. But since he's been moved, as far as we're aware, there have been no difficulties. We're offering a reduction in the terminal hour for the license, which is effectively going to be a financial penalty on us of at least £20,000 a week. As has already been mentioned, the civil penalties have already been imposed of 40,000. My instructions are that the 30,000 has been paid already. The second £40,000 is being paid by way of a direct debit monthly payment, £5,000 a month, and we've yet to see whether there will be a third penalty imposed in relation to the third matter, but I've no doubt there will be. So we're looking at well in excess of £100,000 worth of penalties, which the company's going to have to suffer as a result of the stupidity and negligence of this one rogue manager. And of course, there are other premises within the group which operate perfectly normally and without any difficulty at all. So we are putting our hands up. We are saying sorry. We are saying that the difficulties have now been cured. We're offering you a condition in relation. We've developed our own bespoke system in relation to immigration matters for these particular premises because of the issues. Emmanuel, I don't know if you want me to offer you a draft wording of the condition that I was proposing in relation to the online audit system.
That's fine. I can draft something.
You want to draft one? I mean, I've got a potential wording. You wanted me to give it to you, but I'm very
you
happy
can send that. Yes, you can. If you have it, then you can send it.
Well, I've just drafted something, as we're going through the hearing, and the drafting I have put together is an online compliance system shall be implemented at the premises in relation to immigration matters and right to work. Records maintained on the system shall be made available to any authorized officer upon request, and independent audits shall be carried out by third parties to ensure that the system is operating correctly. So
okay.
something along those lines. But I can drop you an email later on if you want me to.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Okay. Chair, that's really all I want to say. Revocation of the license doesn't close the premises. Doesn't stop the problem happening again. If it's the immigration issue that you're concerned, there's no reason why it couldn't happen again, apart from the fact that we've taken steps to make sure it doesn't. So the premises will remain open even if you revoke the license. What I'm asking you to do is to take notice of the fact that we've fallen on our sword tonight. There are no excuses whatsoever for what happened. The company should have done a lot better, and it didn't. And we're sorry for that, and we apologise. And on the basis of the financial penalties which we are suffering in terms of the civil penalties imposed by the Home Office, and also our own voluntary reduction in hours, we hope that you think that we've done enough to satisfy you that we've put the matter to right and it won't happen again. Chair, I think that's all at this stage.
Thank you, Mr. Bliss. That case, the committee will now retire and take its decision in a separate room. You are welcome to remain in the meeting to hear the committee's decision. However, this might take some time. If you don't want to wait, a summary decision will be published on Council's website tomorrow morning. Can I ask members to turn off their videos, mute their microphone, and join me in the private meeting? Thank you. God.
Thank you. Thank you. I just waited my another 50 seconds.
Hi, I'm Rita. Did you want me to unmute?
Hello.
Hi, I'm Rita. Did you want me to unmute?
No, I think you were unmuted already.
I just got a message pop on my screen which says the host wants you to unmute.
Okay, that might have been an accident. No, it's fine.
Okay, all right, no problem.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Thanks.
I think so. Yeah, but I cannot, I don't know, I cannot even come out. Oh,
I can hear you, Chair.
you can hear me, but you cannot see me. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I just don't know why this. Okay. Okay. Can you see me?
No.
Oh, what's wrong with this? Anyway.
Hi, Chair. I can hear you, but cannot see you.
Okay. I think I leave it like that since you can hear me. Can I ask if everybody's back to the? Is everyone in?
Yes, Chair, I'm back.
Okay. All the councillors, the committee members, are you in?
Yes, Chair, we are.
Yes, yeah, but both of us are here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with this. I can't see myself, but I'm sure you can hear my voice. Thank you for coming back. The summary decision of the license subcommittee, 2nd of August 2023, Wood Grill, 1 to 3 Oxbridge Road, London, W12 8LJ, the premises. The committee has considered an application for review of premises license under Section 51 of Licensing Act 2003. The application, in summary, the committee has decided, after taking into account all the individual circumstances of the case and the promotion of 4 licensing objectives, to 1, to suspend the license for a period of 3 months. 2, modify the condition as set out below. Let night refreshment, both indoors and outdoors, Sunday to Wednesday, 23 hours to 2 hours. So 02 hours to 2 o'clock. Thursday to Saturday from 23 hours to 0300 hours. In addition, to add the following condition: 1, Mr. Ali Hada Grimley shall not be employed at the premises in any capacity of the business at the premises or be involved in management of licensable activities at the premises, either direct or indirect. 2, the right to work audit to be carried out at an unannounced visit not less than 24 times a year, 12 hours a year, 12 times a year, and to provide a copy of provide a copy to authorized officer. This become operational with immediate effect. A copy of this committee's full decision, including its response and full text of the condition added to the license, will be sent to the parties forthwith. If the applicant is unhappy with the decision, they are entitled to appeal to the magistrate court within 21 days from the date of notification of the full decision. I would like to thank everyone for attending or watching tonight's meeting. A summary decision will be published on our website tomorrow. That's end of the meeting. Thank you for attending and good night.
Thank you, Chair and Councillors, for your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, everyone.
Claire.
Thank you.
Thank you.